This is Caesar with Nursing School Made Easy. Now, usually I'm making videos on how to prepare you for the NCLEX exam. This video, however, is a little bit different. In this video, I'm going to show you 8 different ways to save money in Las Vegas. Number 1, download the My Vegas app on your cell phone or on your computer. Now, you can download the My Vegas Blackjack or the My Vegas Slots apps. Now, those are 2 separate apps. Now, again, take into consideration that it's going to take some time for you to accrue these points. So, if you're planning on going to Vegas a couple of months from now, you can go ahead and download these apps and begin accruing points. Now, once you download the app, go ahead and check out the games and also check out the rewards. That way you know how many points you have to accrue to actually be able to redeem any type of reward. Now, what I like to do when I use my points is I like to get a free night or a comp night at a hotel, and I also like to use these points to get either a free buffet or a buy one, get one free buffet. Now, take into consideration that some of these buffets cost about $25 per person. Now, I've tried a couple of different buffets. I highly recommend the buffet at Aria, the buffet at the Bellagio, and the buffet at the MGM. I've tried the buffet at the Excalibur, and I thought that was horrible, so save your money on that. Also, the buffet at the Luxor Hotel is pretty good. Now, let's say that you're not really into the buffet thing, so let me give you some other options that you can choose from. Pinna Pizza. This has got to be one of the best pizzas I've ever had. This is located right outside of the Planet Hollywood Miracle Mile shops. Now, it's about $7 to $8 per slice of pizza, but these are large pieces of pizza, so usually one slice will get you filled up. They're open until about 2 or 3 a.m., so if you're getting out of the club late, you can always go get a slice of pizza to fill you up. Next on the list is the Peppermill. If you've never been to Vegas and you don't know how to get there, just ask the cab driver to take you to the Peppermill. This is some awesome, awesome food. Now, one thing to remember about the Peppermill is that the plates, the portions are really, really big. So usually 2 people could eat off of one order. They have everything from steak to omelets to pasta to really, really great burgers. Next, we have tacos al Gordo. If you're in Vegas, you have got to try these. These are the best tacos that I have ever had. They used to be located on the Strip. However, they've changed locations now. So just ask the taxi cab driver to take you to Tacos al Gordo, and you will not be disappointed. Also, make sure that you do not go when you're super, super hungry, because they're really, really busy, and usually it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to just get to the front of the line, but believe me, they are worth it. Another good place to eat at is at the Bahama Breeze. This is located off the Strip on Flamingo Road, I believe. It's about a 10-15 minute walk from the Flamingo Casino. Again, really, really great food, and it's relatively inexpensive. Food is usually about $8 to $10 per plate. So in Vegas, that's not too bad. Now, if you're into Italian food, I highly recommend Norse Cuisine. This is located off of the Strip. Again, amazing Italian food. Really, really quiet setting. Not very busy. Really chill, real relaxed setting. Now, I highly recommend that you try to figure out where you would like to eat before going to Vegas. I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but try to figure out what you would want to eat, because there's so many selections. There's so many things to choose from. You don't want to waste 2 to 3 hours trying to figure out where you're going to go and end up taking another 2 to 3 hours trying to get there or waiting in line. Next, let's talk about saving money on transportation. I highly recommend getting a cab from the airport to your hotel instead of getting the shuttle services. Now, the cab will roughly run you about $15 to $18 depending on where your hotel is. Again, that's from the airport to the hotel that you're staying at. Now, once you're actually on the Strip, you want to look for a machine that sells bus tickets. And again, you have a couple of options. As you can see, you have a $6 option, $8 or $20 option. Usually when I go for about 4 to 5 days, so I always get the $20 option. Again, you have to have exact change or you won't get your money back. So again, always carry some cash with you. Now, the good thing about the bus pass is that you can use this to get around pretty much everywhere that you want to go to on the Vegas Strip. You can take it from one end to the other. You can take it to see the Fremont Experience, and you can take it to some of those restaurants I had mentioned earlier. Now, to get on the bus, make sure you look for these signs. This is where the bus stops to drop off and pick up people. Now, one thing to keep in mind, one thing that you have to remember is that the bus does make frequent stops. So if you're in a hurry to go see a show, to get to dinner, it's going to take you some time to get there if you're going to be on the bus, because it does make frequent stops. So once you get your ticket, this is what your ticket will look like. Now make sure that you don't lose your ticket, or you're going to have to buy another one again. Now to the fun stuff. Let's talk about clubs. How do you save money getting into clubs? Now if you've never been to Vegas, one thing that you have to know is that it's pretty expensive to get into the club if you're going to be paying to get in. Some clubs may have a $35 or $50 cover charge. So how do we avoid that? There's a couple things you can do. Number one, find a promoter, and I'll leave a couple of numbers down below that you can call, text whenever you get into Vegas, and they'll hook you up. Just let them know that Caesar sent you. Now in some clubs like Chateau, girls get free drinks till midnight. So again, when you're talking to promoters or you're talking to people, find out which clubs have free drinks for ladies. For the fellas out there, you're going to have to step up your game. Usually if you have a group of 2 or 3 girls with you, guys get in for free. So there you go, no cover charge. Now one thing that I must stress, one thing that I must inform you, one thing that you have to know is please get there on time, get there early, because the clubs get packed and you don't want to be waiting in line for an hour and a half just to get in. Again, I'll leave some numbers down below that you can text whenever you're in Vegas. Again, you shouldn't have to pay to get in. So if somebody is telling you you get a wristband for 20 bucks and you get in, you're getting scammed, okay? Use the numbers that I'm going to put down below, because I've used them before and I've had friends, family use them before, and they've always had great results. They get into clubs for free. All they ask is just to give them the name of the person that's going to be the head person. That way they can put them on the list and boom, you're in. Again, guys, please don't pay any money to anybody that's giving out cards or free bracelets, anything like that. That's a scam. Usually promoters have the logo of the hotel or club that they're working for. A couple of clubs that I highly recommend are 1, Marquee, 2, Chateau, 3, OMNIA, 4, Excess, 5, Hakkasan. These are awesome clubs. You won't regret going to them. Make sure you know where you're going, because sometimes the clubs are closed. So again, check out and see if that club that you want to go to is open on that night. Now let's talk about some shows that you can watch. Number 1, Absinthe. Number 2, the O at the Bellagio. Number 3, Ka at the MGM. I highly recommend Ka, O, and Mystère. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you can use the My Vegas points to get some discounts off of these shows. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that as soon as you get to your hotel, you will most likely be greeted by different staff members. You will actually see employees or people coming up to you asking you questions as to how long you're going to be staying at that hotel. Are you there on vacation? Are you a newlywed? Are you there with a couple? They will also ask for a minute of your time. Now, the reason they're wanting to talk to you is because they're trying to sell you a timeshare. So they're going to ask you if you would like to go see one of these shows or one of these presentations where they sell a timeshare. Now, some of the promotions that they offer for you to sit and watch that promotion is they will say they will give you free tickets or tickets at a reduced price to certain shows in Las Vegas. So one way of getting free tickets to shows is to actually sit through these presentations. Now, you do have to be aware that these presentations last about 4 to 5 hours. So if you have a lot of time on your hands, I would suggest you doing this. But I must warn you, please do not buy anything, because that is their job. They're trying to sell you something. And again, you're trying to get free tickets. So keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about beer and how to save money on liquor. One of the things that I like to do is I like to buy a small cooler that I can fit into a backpack. What I recommend you do is you get some ice from your hotel and go to the Walgreens or CVS that's nearby and putting that into your small cooler. Just remember, you're going to be doing a lot of walking and it's going to be pretty hot. So this is the best way to always have a cold beer on hand. One thing to mention, you are allowed to take drinks from one hotel to the next, and you are allowed to drink on the strip. However, you are not allowed to carry glass bottles on the strip. That is illegal, so make sure you do not make that mistake. Also, you're not allowed to carry any open container or any type of liquor onto the bus, so if you get to the bus, make sure you put your drink in your backpack. Now, just an FYI, a beer at a club costs about $14 to $15, and a mixed drink costs about $18. Now, earlier I mentioned getting to the club early. Here's why. All you really need to do is get into the club, get stamped so they know that you've already been into the club, and then you can go ahead and leave and come back anytime you want. This gives you some time to walk outside of the club and get some drinks. Now, if you're thinking about doing shots, I would recommend you buying a bottle before going to the club or after leaving the club once you've been stamped. Here's why. A shot costs about $20 per shot depending on what type of liquor you buy. Now, if you're not really into drinking or clubbing, there's still plenty of stuff to do. And again, you don't have to spend much money. You can always do some window shopping at the Fashion Show Mall and at the Caesars Palace malls. I recommend going up and down the strip a couple of times, just trying to take it all in. I guarantee you could be there a week and not see it all. Just be sure to wear comfortable shoes and comfortable clothes because it gets hot and you're going to be walking a lot. Now, last but not least, if you're in Vegas, you have to go to the Fremont Experience or Fremont Street. Now, I recommend you go to the Fremont Experience during nighttime so you can experience it to the fullest. You can do some zip lining and you can also see live performers there on the street. Now, if you find yourself getting a little hungry or a little thirsty on the way there, don't worry, they got great food and great drinks at a really good price. And you have to try the fried Oreos. These things are amazing. Alright guys, there you have it, a few ways of saving money in Las Vegas. I hope you have a great time in Vegas, and if you go to a new spot that I didn't mention, please write it in the comments below and let me know how it goes so I can check it out next time I go. As always, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks for watching, guys.